Donald Trump just revoked the endangerment findings. In this video, we'll talk about what the endangerment findings is and the impact of revoking these endangerment findings to global trade. Now, listen. The endangerment findings is an act that was put in place during the Obama regime to regulate the amount of greenhouse gas emission into the atmosphere. This act states that greenhouse gases poses a danger to human health. As we all know, I also studied in school that greenhouse gases poses a threat to human health. Now, why is Donald Trump revoking this policy and stopping it? Donald Trump is on the opinion that this policy of greenhouse gases posing a threat to human health is more of an economic thing than a health thing. That is, it has a lot of economic advantage than a health advantage. Now, let's talk about this. When I heard this, I did my research and I'm like, is this really the case? Is this war an economic war, or these people really care about human health? Now, let's talk about this. As I told you before, the endangerment findings was a law that was passed in place to regulate the emission of greenhouse gases during the Obama regime. And in that time, many other countries also liked this idea and adopted the idea. For example, the European Union, China, Japan, Brazil, and many other countries, they adopted these policies to regulate the emission of greenhouse gases. So now, in 2026, Donald Trump is saying that this is a scam, that this is not real, that people have been deceived to believe that greenhouse gases possess a threat to human health. Now, we are driving somewhere. Let's talk about the business and the economic aspect. We all know that many countries in the world are shifting from gas-powered cars to EV cars. Now, we all also know that America is posing a lot of regulation and tax regulation on companies that produces a lot of greenhouse gases before Donald Trump is trying to revoke this ban now. That is, before now, many industries and power plants are being taxed a lot of money because they emit a certain standard of greenhouse gases to the environment. So in order for the government to discourage the emission of greenhouse gases, they added their taxes. And adding these taxes scares a lot of industries from investing in America because of high taxes. So the cost of establishing a power plant in America is more expensive than in other parts of the world. And secondly, the taxes that are being imposed on these companies is being transferred to individuals in America, hence reducing the purchasing power. Now, let me explain. Imagine that you go to buy a car in the factory and the factory has been taxed an extra $1 million because this car emits carbon dioxide. What happens is this company, because they pay these high taxes, they have to add that tax on the price of the car, hence making the car more expensive. So now people will prefer to buy EV vehicles that are cheaper than buying gas-powered cars. So what is happening now is many people are driving towards EV than gas-powered cars. Now, let me explain what is happening now in the global scale. We all remember that America has the highest amount of oil reserves in the world. And what happens is we know oil has a very big impact in global trade because many countries are trading with oil, and oil is a major thing to many economies. And with all this oil reserve that America has, what are they going to do with all these oil reserves if the world is changing to EV? Now, let's talk about the economic implications. Now, imagine that every other country in the world is also following up this regulation, and many countries in the world are still following up this regulation of emitting greenhouse gases. The European Union is still following this. China is still following this. Japan is still regulating the emission of greenhouse gases. So what happens now is, while America is trying to build their economy, in the global scale, it's going to be catastrophic. Now, let me explain this. In the global scale, while America is focusing building plants and building their energy sector, they won't be able to sell out into other countries because the world functions with international trade. America cannot consume all what they produce. There must be an excess that they will want to sell. So how will they tackle this problem? Because if the European Union, Japan, China, and other countries stay put on the fact that these greenhouse gases poses a threat to human health and they will still regulate these greenhouse gases, so obviously they will tax American imports, especially American cars or anything that is coming from America that produces greenhouse gases, because everyone is trying to regulate the emission. So imposing this tax will mean American products will be more expensive out of the world than other products. Now China comes in. China has resettled on EV, and they have realized that electronic vehicles is the future of the world. And remember that this doesn't deal with EV only, with electronic vehicles only. It deals with anything that emits a lot of greenhouse gases. I'm using cars here as an example because it's easy to understand and it's easy to relate with. Imagine that this happens. You obviously see that American products will be more expensive than other products, and people will prefer to buy other products than American products. But at the same time, for now, it's going to uplift the American economy while posing a higher threat in future. That is what I think. This is my analysis, and this is what I think. So thank you all very much. If you like videos like this, please like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comment section. See you in the next one.